Batter one, pitch one, game one of this weekend set. And strike number one. Chance at 305, homered 4 times, driven in 27, the sophomore left fielder. For a state team really having a turnaround season after a couple tough years that followed that national championship in 2021. One strike pitch. Goes to the backstop. See Chance and Mershon and Jordan. It's top half of the first inning. 11-game hit streak for this guy, and hits in 15 of the last 16. Like a double against Memphis on Tuesday night. Pull foul to make it 1-2.
Yeah, I mentioned pitching is definitely going to be the key to this weekend. If these pitchers can stay ahead of these batters, be super important for them. But also offensively, you want to strike first. You want to find a way to really draw that first blood.
Cunningham sees his 1-2 pitch line to right at Holcomb, and makes a catch, 1 out. Thought he might have a little trouble there for a moment. We saw in the game on Tuesday night, a couple balls got up in the air, and it was the sun field. A little bit of cloud cover here, but going with the shades just to be safe.
Yeah, I'm sure right after that, Tim Corbin said, all right, let's get you a new pair of shades, and those are not going to leave your head. Just out there just in case.
Shortstop David Mershon is the batter. Switch hitter batting left against the right-hander Cunningham. Bouncer up the middle. Vastine really good on this tight play. Had to unload in a hurry, and he got him at first. Commodore shortstop. In fact, that whole left side of the infield has been fantastic here in 2024. Nice play here by Vastine.
Yeah, a little high chopper. Watch how quickly it gets in and out of the glove. Vastine on a full sprint just makes it look easy.
Now a guy who's part of the Golden Spikes Award midseason watch list, Dakota Jordan, on a 10-game hit streak and went 2 for 5 in their midweek game against Memphis with a home run and 4 knocked in. A single and a 3-run bomb for a guy having a great season. Pops this one up, right side. R.J. Austin takes a look, and right at the rail, couldn't hang on. Off the bat, it looked like he would be in the stands, and a little bit of breeze, Austin had a play but couldn't make it.
Yeah, it looked like Austin, yeah, it was in the glove and out.
I caught it on the palm, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think he thought that elbow was going to hit that pad right there in the dugout, but yeah, it's a tough break. You'd love to get out of there quickly, but now new life here for Jordan.
We have a chance to retire him on 1 pitch. Instead, it's a foul ball out in front on a slider. 0-2. Sophomore from Canton, Mississippi. Those are some really impressive numbers. That 4-digit OPS, 16 and 55. Cunningham trying to close it out in the first inning. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. So nobody hurt. On the pop-up, a strikeout of Jordan. 3 homers and 30 knocked in. High fly ball, deep right center field, off the bat of Vastine to the wall and gone. The first pitch of the night lands in the bleachers in right center, and Vanderbilt has a 1-0 lead.
We talked earlier about getting on the board early. Jonathan Vastine says, all right, I'll take care of that. Huge blast to right center field. Loves that low fastball. Take a look here. Went down and got it. Nice looking swing. A great way to start off this series on the board.
Well, yeah, talk about getting off to a good start. We also talked about no earned runs allowed in 3 starts for Cal Stephen, and 1 pitch and 1 run for Vanderbilt. For Vastine, homer number 7, RBI 31 for the Commodore shortstop. R.J. Austin hits a rope foul. 2 hard hit balls on 2 swings.
Yeah, and you look at the scouting report for Steven. I mean, he's trying to get ahead with the fastball. And it is an elite fastball. It's up there, cranks up there sometimes 95, 96. He's got a really good slider too, but he's going to try and fill up the zone early. And you've seen some of these hitters try and jump on that first pitch fastball.
Popped up right side. Hines, the first baseman, a little short of the railing, makes a catch to retire the first baseman for Vanderbilt, I should say. First out of the inning for Vanderbilt. Well, now the hero of the Tuesday night game. We saw that highlight off the top, Davis Diaz. He was the only man standing between Vanderbilt and a first extra inning game of 2024 and said, I'll take care of all that with a home run to win it. A line shot just kept on going and made its way a couple rows up in left center field.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game on Tuesday. Commodores were able to get ahead relatively early and didn't really have much offensive production after that. UT Martin able to battle back and tie it up. And we thought the game was going to be going on for quite some time. And Davis Diaz said, no, I got to get back and maybe get some food later and get in my bed. Decided to end it.
17 game on base streak for the Vanderbilt third baseman as Steven misses in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
And Commodores are in exam time now too, right?
Yes, I think so.
So you can't afford to go too late. Got to study for those exams, get some papers in.
I'm glad I don't have to do any of that. It's been a long time. Outside 3-1. Cal Steven, the junior right-hander. Hitters count for Diaz, a 3-1. Left side in the air. Shortstop Mershon. Couple steps on the outfield grass to make the catch. 2 gone.
Yeah, that was 93 in on the hands. And Davis Diaz just not able to get the hands extended. Has some good run on the fastball, what Steven does. It has a lot of like late life to it. And you hear a lot of coaches kind of talk about that fastball. It's moving all over the place.
Senior catcher Alan Espinal, he had a big weekend in that series against Florida last week. 5 for 13 with a couple home runs. 2 doubles in the series finales. You take a look at his numbers on the year. 3 walks in the midweek game. 1 ball count. Could get a pitch away, 1-1. Cal Steven trying to battle back after allowing a leadoff home run to Vastine. .317, 6 home runs for the Commodore catcher. Break-even pitch, couldn't get it, 1-2.
So those are 2 different sliders that we just saw from Steven. We saw the hard slider on the outside corner, got him to chase, and then that one a little bit slower, so we can kind of change the shape and take a few miles an hour off and just have that much of a different pitch.
1-2, close pitch, ball 2. Espinal looked like he held up and didn't offer. Well, that was really close. Two with 2 outs. Not a lot of play. Six or more innings over the last 5 starts for Steven. First in innings pitched in the SEC, 57 2/3 entering this weekend. Espinal hammers this one deep center field. Vanderbilt has its 2nd home run in this opening frame.
Oh my
A blast off the bat of the Commodore catcher to make it 2-0.
Hit the state bus.
Goodness.
In center field. Oh my goodness. That is the definition of hang it and bang it right there. That was a hanging slider with 2 strikes, and Espinal just took advantage. Take a look at the swing here. Just right on it, got some good backspin on it. Watch where this thing lands. It lands on the catwalk. And then one bounces and hits the bus. One of the longer home runs we've seen here this season.
Espinal rings the bell with 2 outs in the first. Jaden Davis, the hitter. Solo home runs by Espinal and Vastine to start this series for Vanderbilt. 7 home runs, 29 knocked in for Espinal. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. We were just talking before the game how it was neat to see Mississippi State have their own bus parked out there, and little did we know a baseball was going to find it in the first inning. This one toward the gap in left center field off the bat of Davis. Going to hang up long enough. Isaac makes it. State first baseman out in front. One strike. 279. Homered 9 times and driven in 35. A guy who is among the SEC career leaders in home runs among active players. Checked his swing 1-1. 0 for 2 of the walk in Memphis. Only 2 out of 11 in the Auburn series. It was first team all conference in 2023 and also freshman all SEC the previous season. Inside corner, fastball, strike 2.
And for a guy like Hines, last year 22 home runs, 6th most in a single season in Mississippi State history. Having a really good season so far this year too.
Out on strikes, swing and a miss. Cunningham, second K of the night. 1 out in the state second.
And that's a good look at the changeup here from Cunningham. It's right at the bottom of the zone. As a hitter, it looks like the fastball out of the hand. You think it's going to be right in the zone, and then just the bottom drops out of it. And sometimes you might roll over it or completely miss it. That's what Hines did.
Connor Hyzak, the center fielder. 4-game hit streak and had a half dozen knocks in that series against Auburn last weekend. Cunningham throwing strikes. Hyzak 326. 10 doubles, couple triples, 7 homers. So those 36 RBIs and that good OPS. One from Cunningham, misses away. 1 for 5, drove in a run in their midweek win over Memphis. I played a couple seasons at VCU. Break even pitch, leans him away. 2 balls and a strike. Bryce Cunningham, the junior right-hander, ready to throw, and a 2-1 pitch. To the left side, this is going to bounce foul. 2-2 to Hyzak.
Yeah, it's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It has a little extra run, runs outside of the zone. We talked with Mississippi State coach Chris Lamonis earlier this week, and he said the key to them, facing guys like Cunningham or throughout this entire pitching staff is just controlling the strike zone. You don't leave the strike zone. You give that advantage to these pitchers, but easier said than done.
Back-to-back Ks for Cunningham. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Right center field, Polk. Had in position just right, makes the catch. 2 outs in the second. Logan Kohler is the hitter. Yeah, fun visiting with Coach Lamonis. I kind of asked him about being a bounce-back season, and he said, yeah, we're still in the middle of that, but pretty pleased with how they've done in SEC play. They've had some close games and some walk-offs. They've had some fun wins and some tough losses, but after a slow start and some injuries early on, they've built from a chemistry standpoint, as he said.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this game is it doesn't matter what those preseason rankings are. It doesn't matter what happens, early in the season. If you're starting to play your best ball towards the end of the season and you're getting hot, that's when you're doing it right. So a lot of teams trying to trend in that right direction.
Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. We've not seen Cunningham fall behind, really. Retiring the first 5 hitters he has faced. Kohler comes in at 218, making start number 34. Pull foul, 2-1.
Because, you talk about World Series teams, and for the Commodores in particular, you think about that 2019 team, and then you also think about that the 2014 team and the 2019 team. Totally different teams. That 2019 team kind of just won everything, and that 2014 team had to grind a little bit.
Over to Davis in short right field. Bryce Cunningham has it headed counting here at Vanderbilt, 9:13 to be exact. Troy Leneve starting off the second. Pulliam with a good play. Ranges back up the middle with a backhand and a nice delivery to get Leneve.
Yeah, really nice play there from Pulliam. He was shaded in the pull side right there in the 4-hole, but he puts it right back in his normal position, able to backhand it, throw it off balance. A nice pickup there by Hines as well.
So the senior Leneve retired. Here's Polk. Vanderbilt's leading hitter at 339. This guy has really done a good job. He has made a big jump from his sophomore to junior seasons. 5 homers and 17 knocked in on the year. It's this one the opposite way to right field. The first hit for Vanderbilt that didn't leave the building, a 1-out single in the second.
Nice little piece of hitting right there from Polk. It's a pitch he can handle, the outside corner. More of that loopy kind of slider, the slower slider we've seen from Steven, but lets it get in there, shoots it the other way. A very different approach that I've seen from these Commodore hitters so far this game as opposed to on Tuesday. We're a little timid on Tuesday, kind of just letting balls come in there. Much more aggressive here today.
Fastball at 93 to start off this visit for DH Colin Barcy. Freshman comes in, 4 for his first 13. This is his 4th start. We've seen him some in SEC play, 2 for 4 in the Florida series. A hit in each of his appearances, including a double. On the move is Polk, a throw that was on target, but he's safe at second. Able to get under the tag by Mershon, and Vanderbilt has a man in scoring position.
Take a look at the jump here from Polk. He had a pretty solid lead. Looked like he timed up Steven pretty well.
So that was Pulliam applying the tag.
Yeah, I think the throw pulled Pulliam up into the sliding lane a little bit more. I think if it was right on the money, he might have had a chance of getting him.
Barcy takes a strike to make it 1-2. Vanderbilt is second in the SEC in stolen bases, entering tonight's play with 75. Trying to add to a 2-0 lead with 1 out. A man in scoring position. That one rolls away. Polk trying to take another 90, and he does without a throw.
A nice dirt ball read here from Polk. You see, right when he sees that ball even trends down into the dirt, he's already taken off. Just moves up an extra 90.
Good chance for Barcy with 1 out. Man at third. Out of play. Cobblers have done the job in the first 2 innings this season. Counting the 2 in the first inning tonight. 88 runs in the first 2 innings in 42 games this season. Two, smacked over to second. Pulliam's only play will be to first. Vanderbilt does get the run home. RBI for Barcy on the ground out, make it 3-0.
It's just a great piece of hitting right there from Barcy. You go into his mindset. He's a freshman. He's coming in a high-pressure series against Mississippi State. He gets a runner in scoring position. Doesn't try and do too much. Gets a ball he can handle. Just puts it on the ground. Gets that RBI. Nice job.
And those are the type things that will make Tim Corbin happy. Is
very much.
Just a good at-bat. Hit it the other way on the ground. Got the run home. Good start in this series for Corb's team. There's right fielder Braden Holcomb. Plenty of power. 4 home runs, 13 knocked in. First-year player has seen his playing time increase in recent weeks. Just missed with a slider to make it 1-1. Steven sees the fastball. Close, but ball 2. Could get the breaking pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Holcomb. Leneve bounced out on the first pitch of the inning. Polk with a single, stole second. Third in a wild pitch and home on a ground out. Swung on and missed by Holcomb. Steven records his first. Polk is a beloved figure in Starkville. There for a long time for a program with a ton of tradition.
And all around college baseball. I mean, I think about college baseball, and I think about Ron Polk. I mean, just the impact that he's had on so many different players. And quite a personality, too.
No doubt. Amani Larry to start off the state third inning. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Well, for 2-3 walks, a stolen base, scored a couple runs against Memphis after a 2-4-12 series against Auburn last weekend when State got the sweep. Hit over to third. Diaz, the friendly hop, throws out Larry, 1 out. Yeah, I was thinking about Ron Polk, and one of the funny stories is the umpire threw him out of a game and told him to go where he couldn't see him, and he joked that he wouldn't sit on home plate.
Stood on home plate, exactly. Legend.
Davis Diaz, a game-winning home run, and has made the plays in the field, been excellent at third base. Ethan Pulliam, the second baseman, we've seen him make a nice play or two early on here. 1-ball count. Limited playing time, 7 for 17. This is start number 6 of the season for the freshman. Had a key RBI double in their midweek win against Memphis. Popped this one up. Short left field. Vastine, Leneve, Troy with a long run. Ends up on the turf, but held on. The turf monster got him, or what happened?
Definitely got him. Yeah, it looked like it's kind of slow coming in. Vastine didn't hear any communication until the last second. And then Leneve said, "Oh, it's a little further in front of me than I thought." Turf monster. Whoop.
Held on to the baseball. That was the important part. Well, Bryce Cunningham trying to make it through this Mississippi State batting order without a base runner. For the first 9 hitters, Johnny Long, the catcher, senior from Naples, Florida. Numbers on the season for the senior. Saw that one home run, but it was in a series that counts for Mississippi State. That's against Ole Miss. That was back on April 13th, a couple weeks ago. 2 balls and a strike. We should mention, coming up next half inning, Vanderbilt Athletics Director Candace Story-Lee will join us here in the booth. Always a lot to think about and talk about if you're an athletic director, especially at an SEC school. Long pops this one up. See if there's a play for Diaz. Gonna drop over the dugout, foul.
Yeah, I'd say Candace has been pretty busy the last few months. New basketball coach. A lot of NIL action. It's fun to talk with her.
Talk about those things and more coming up with Candace shortly. Cunningham, 2 ball, 2 strike count to the State catcher. 2 gone in the third. First full count of the night.
A good pitch there from Cunningham. Tried to get the chase on the slider. But Long learning from some of his teammates. Holding off. See what he comes with here.
The payoff with 2 outs. Another chance for Diaz. Takes his time. Scooped by Austin. 3 up, 3 down again for Mississippi State.
2 or 3 missed pitches, and this is a totally different ball game.
Jonathan Vastine has seen 2 pitches and swung at both of them. The first was a home run. This one a fly out to center. 1 gone in the third. He had the first pitch of the first inning. Out of here to right center. Get Vanderbilt on the board. That's a fly out to Hyzak. R.J. Austin popped out to first his first time up, 0 for 1. This Mississippi State team, they had a rain out and played a doubleheader on Sunday against Auburn. Makes you think about how you might use your pitchers this weekend, and we'll see what they do tomorrow. The usual Friday starter Steven out there for game 1 tonight. Austin I think RJ just trying to get things jump started a little bit, trying to put down a bunt.
Yeah, looking to get back in that hit column. Trying to sneak one on Kohler, the third baseman. But definitely a guy that you're not worried about. He's definitely going to figure it out. Such a competitor.
He has had a terrific season. Almost hit for the cycle game 1 against Florida last week when he went 3 for 5 in game 1. A bit of a tough go of it since then. Ball on 2 strikes with 1 out. Another one, foul ground right side. This one will get out of play. Played primarily second base last year. Started this season in center field, but first base has been the spot. Going to produce wherever you might put him in the field. 2-2.
It was interesting. I went back and watched part of that 2018 Super Regional, and kind of similar to R.J. Austin, a young man named Austin Martin came in and moved in and played first base part of that game. So kind of following those footsteps.
Right back this way. Yeah, I remember seeing Austin Martin make great plays in left field. We talked about him playing first base. He played third base on the championship team. These days playing for the Minnesota Twins. Just got called up not long ago. I was kind of surprised it took him that long to get to the big leagues. Austin, fly ball, short left field. Hangs up for chance to get a chance, 2 outs. But I think he just got stuck in a bad situation in Toronto where their players stacked at his positions and got to Minnesota and has made it up.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation. A lot of times you have the talent, but there's just only so many positions open at that next level. And a lot of things determine on making it to the next level and to the big leagues is guys in front of you.
Davis Diaz smacks one to center field. Hit it hard, but right at Hyzak makes a catch. 3 up, 3 down for Vanderbilt. Nothing across for the Commodores. 3 innings played and a 3-0 advantage.
I was just telling Andrew that it was our volleyball coach's first time being in Hawkins for an SEC weekend.
Yeah.
And so he picked a beautiful time to try it out and see what's so special here.
A good start for Vanderbilt. In the top of the order for Mississippi State is Chance Mershon and Jordan. It's Bryce Cunningham, who sat down all 9 he has faced so far. Well, always a lot going on in terms of your job as athletics director and a lot of things to juggle. A letter went out this week about NIL and the Anchor Impact Collective. Tell us about that and what the aim of that was.
Yeah, I wanted our fans to know that, I think we all understand that NIL is a really important part of the competitive landscape. And I wanted our fans to know that we need their support and that we are leaning in heavily in this area. I think sometimes NIL does get a negative connotation. And the reality is that I just view it as yet another opportunity to support these young people and to have an opportunity to leverage your reputation. I mean, that's your hard work that you're now able to benefit from. I think it's our responsibility to clear a path so that they can take advantage of that and also provide the resources so they can make good decisions while they do it. And we need help. NIL funds have to be external to the university. But for all of us who love the Commodores, for all of Commodore Nation, we need to make sure that the young people who make the decision, the very incredibly awesome decision to come to Vanderbilt, don't feel like they have to give up something to do it. So I and we tell them you can have everything here. And so NIL is part of the landscape, so that too.
Line out by Bryce Chance to start the inning. Here's David Mershon, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. This one popped up. Short left center field, long run for Polk. It's going to be Leneve, though. He makes the catch, 2 outs.
They are young people that truly you will be proud to know and to interface with and to learn more about. And it's a great chance for them to showcase their personalities and to engage in things that are important to them.
Dakota Jordan has strike out his first time up. Bryce Cunningham breezing his way through this Mississippi State batting order as he starts in the second time around. 0-2 the count to Jordan. Visiting with Vanderbilt Athletics Director, Dr. Candace Story-Lee. Cunningham's 0-2 pitch trying to close out the fourth. Just missed for ball one.
Yeah, just missed with a fastball up. Nice stick there from Alan Espinal. See if he goes back to that slider on the outside corner.
Try to hold it for an extra beat and get the strike call. 1-2 to Jordan. Pulled over toward third. Diaz has to hurry up on a hop safe. First base runner for Mississippi State, an infield hit by Dakota Jordan. One of the SEC's top hitters at 379.
Yeah, Candace, can you just take me through the process? So I want to contribute to Anchor Impact. How do I go about doing that?
So DeJuan Epps is the executive director of Anchor Impact, but I think of us as all being on like the same broad team. So whether you're talking to myself, whether you're talking to one of our coaches or a member of the National Commodore Club or DeJuan, we would connect you. If you aren't talking to DeJuan, we would connect you with DeJuan, and then you are able to provide a donation on a recurring basis, or you could do a one-time gift, and he also would then talk about the benefits. But we are in lockstep on this, but it's very simple. You can also visit the website, but we also are trying to walk people through it individually, because I know it can be confusing when you think about yes. So that was part of what I was hoping to accomplish with the correspondence that went out earlier this week, to introduce the topic again with maybe a little bit more detail. But it's the beginning of a series of communications that will come to just share more information about NIL and why it's important.
Awesome. And if I'm a local business owner and I want to work with a particular athlete, how does that work?
There are a number of, so I love that you brought this up. So we are building out, I would say, I don't want to act like it would be a new opportunity, because those opportunities exist now, but we're trying to create a platform that will make it easier for businesses to know how they can engage. And we have staff working on that right now. We have on our website a directory where student athletes have opted in to share their contact information, share their social media information. So you can also reach out directly to a student athlete. Okay. But we have an NIL landing page off of vucommodores.com that has all contact information, and that will ping us directly, and then we will be in communication with businesses like that. We actually did it earlier today with some businesses who expressed interest.
Great.
Payoff pitch coming up to Hunter Hines. 2 out in the fourth with Jordan at first. Cunningham trying to close down any sign of a Mississippi State threat. It's downstairs for ball 4. Runners at first and second. Plenty of other things going on, I know, in your job, in your life as athletics director. We've been seeing some fun milestones for Tim Corbin here at Hawkins Field. Went over 1,000 wins and 900 wins as head coach of the Commodores. And he always sets a great example for everyone around this program.
He sure does. I mean, I think he is the template. I think he is the GOAT. I think we talk about all the time, like when you look at the journey, the evolution of this program, which started with selecting the right leader and then allowing Tim to have the vision and the time and the space so that he could execute everything that he knew, right? That he knew that what it would take to actually transform this program. And I think he's set the bar very high for everyone else. And it's a wonderful example for our other coaches to see.
Fun visiting with Vanderbilt Athletics Director Dr. Candace Story-Lee. Runners at first and second with 2 outs for Mississippi State. And hi, Zach.
I'm thrilled with the progress we've made, but I cannot wait to see, and for others to see, what Hawkins will look like in the future.
Fast eye to Davis to get Hines at second. Dr. Candace Story-Lee, thank you so much for the time. Always fun to visit with you.
Thank you, Sam. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
Vanderbilt leading 3-0 over. 3-0 advantage for Vanderbilt as they go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Bryce Cunningham out of a bit of jam in the top half of this frame. And Alan Espinal leads things off, who hit one of the longer home runs you'll see in this ballpark back in the first inning to make it 2-0. Vanderbilt 2 solo home runs in the first, and a single with Matthew Polk scored on a ground out in the second. That's where we stand. Game 1. This weekend set, Commodores and Mississippi State. Cal Steven, 0-2 pitch, leans Espinal away. That home run he hit back in the first inning reminded me a little bit of the Jason Gonzalez home run against Georgia Tech in the regional a few years ago, back in 2021. Got that same spot. Fly ball. Left center field. Isaac drifts on back to the warning track, and a step on, he makes a catch. That one kept on going, but one out.
Yeah, it just kept drifting and drifting, and we saw how far that home run went, but that really is just the backspin that Alan Espinal is able to put on that. Take a look at the drift, just a couple inches, a couple feet before that wall. Not a lot of wind. I think if there's a little bit more wind, that thing falls out of here.
It was a little breezier when we started the night, but not a whole lot of wind at this point. Jaden Davis 0 for 1, lined out to center in his first at bat. It's been Vanderbilt's best hitter in SEC play. 357 coming into tonight's game through 18 conference games. On a bounce to third, it's Kohler. Across the diamond, 2 outs. We're starting to see Cal Stevens settle in a little bit here for Mississippi State and sit down some hitters.
Yeah, he's keeping the ball low. I mean, the home runs that he gave up were elevated, and he's keeping his sliders low, his fastball low. He's getting some mishit balls. And similar with Steven and also with a guy like Cunningham, they like to pitch out of the windup. They like to have the rhythm. You can kind of see Steven rocking there. You finally am able to get him into the stretch. You break up his rhythm and make him a little bit uncomfortable.
Troy Leneve grounded out on the first pitch he saw. He hit it to Pulliam. Ranged up the middle to make the play. High pop left side of the infield. Kohler. You have to wait a minute for this one to come down. It's a tough time of day, but 3 up, 3 down for Vanderbilt in the fourth. Those spots if you're both these teams.
Yeah, that's why this weekend is so important for both these teams as well. And also, you're kind of seeding for that the SEC tournament down in Hoover, because you can help play yourself into a national seed by doing really well there. So, yeah, still a lot of balls left to play.
1-2 count to Kohler, starting off the fifth, out of play. Only 2 base runners for Cunningham. An infield hit by Dakota Jordan and a walk to Hunter Hines. There's what State has left. Bama and Arkansas and Missouri. 2 out of their last 3 will be at home. The other one on the road in Fayetteville. That'll be a tough little road trip.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's not the easiest place to play. Kohler stays alive with another foul ball. Three games here in Nashville. 3 more series to go. It's been one of the fun SEC rivalries, especially in recent years. The stakes have been really high in the dirt, 2-2. Two. High for ball 3. Here's what's ahead for the Commodores. No easy series either for Vanderbilt at Georgia. Better bring the bats in that series. Tennessee will be here to renew the rivalry, and then at Kentucky. So 2 top 5 teams. The final 2 weeks, the regular season for the Commodores. Payoff pitch. Fly ball left center field. Polk gets over, makes a catch. Leneve was right there as well. 1 out.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the season, if you looked down at the end of the season, you saw Tennessee and Kentucky. I don't think a lot of people were going to think that they were going to have the amazing seasons that they've had, but yeah, it's shaping up for the Commodores to get ready to strap it on these next few weeks.
Monty Larry, a bounce out to third in his first at bat as Bryce Cunningham sat down the first 11 he faced before that 2-out hit by Jordan in the last inning. Threw that fastball past him, 1 strike. See a couple of these Mississippi State players, the SEC graduate patch. Always tell Candace Lee she should have the SEC graduate patch on her shirts and pullovers. She'd have like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Andrew should have one too.
Yeah, they implemented that, I think, maybe a year or 2 after I had graduated. So, yeah, I was always sad. Maybe I can get one a commemorative one, potentially.
You're still a graduate.
Yeah.
Nobody
can take that away from me, Kevin.
I, on the other hand, do. Say probably not for me. Amani Larry. 1-2 pitch. Downstairs 2-2. That's something to be proud of, too. If you're a graduate and you're still playing ball, I always think that's really cool that you've already finished your work in the classroom or working on something else in terms of a graduate degree. Full count here to Larry with one out.
There's a number of alumni here this weekend to celebrate the 2014-2019 national championship teams. A lot of guys coming in town for it, so it should be a good day tomorrow.
Payoff from Cunningham. Strike 3 called. First K since the second inning for the Commodore right-hander. Larry was headed to first. Have to take the turn back toward the dugout on a close pitch.
Yeah, Larry was pretty sure that was ball 4.
Ooh.
A little bit low.
He might have a case.
Yeah. Yeah, dropped the bat, and he's halfway down to first base before he saw the ball get thrown around and said, hold up.
Second baseman Ethan Pulliam with 2 gone in the 5th. Pulliam, a guy who is a local player from Starkville. Hammers this one towards center field, but right at Matthew Polk. A quick and easy 5th inning for Bryce Cunningham. 3 up, 3 down. A little cooler indoors. Swing and a miss by Matthew Polk, starting the Vanderbilt 5th. Bottom of the order, it's Polk, Barzy, and Holcomb against right-hander Cal Steven. He's retired 8 in a row after Vanderbilt got to him for a 3rd run in the 2nd. Fastball for strike 2.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling the zone. And definitely settled in, and only down by 3. So you'd love to keep him out there and continue to roll him through these batters. But if you're Vandy, you got to think about the whole weekend. Try and get in that pin early and really use up that pin as much as you can.
Base hit, a stolen base, went to 3rd on a wild pitch and scored on a ground out. That was Polk's visit back in the 2nd inning. Out on strikes to begin the Vanderbilt 5th. So Steven fans the Vanderbilt center fielder. Now will go to work on Colin Barzy.
That was the slider, the higher velo slider. I guess you call it, a cutter. 87 there in the outside corner.
So have you stayed up late and watched the Preds games? The first 2 games against Vancouver?
Yeah. Yeah, always good to have the hometown team doing good. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, and it still is interesting to have hockey in the South. I still think it's awesome.
The playoffs are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Foul tip, Barzy behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the 9 o'clock starts when they play out west. They get a little hard sometimes. Barzy a couple hits in the Florida series. Drove in a run with a bounce out his first time up tonight. Pitch in the dirt 1-2. It's a big weekend. The marathon's tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be running in that, I assume?
No.
All 26.2?
Oh, no. I got to rest up for the game tomorrow.
I did the half one year and then came here and did baseball, and it didn't go especially well. Swing and a miss. Barzy's out on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Steven here in the Vanderbilt 5th.
There's that hard slider again, the outside corner. Really going to those right-handers. These right-handers having a little bit of trouble picking it up out of the hand.
Braden Holcomb 0 for 1, struck out his first time up.
Yeah, on the half route, what was the hardest stretch for you?
I think toward the end, actually, when you come up there by Capitol Hill, by where Bicentennial Mall is. Pop up center field. Isaac with a high sky makes a catch. Both teams coming here tonight, 10-8 in SEC play. The back half of the conference season. Right side of the infield, it's Austin. Makes the play, one out. We're seeing some outstanding work by these starting pitchers, aren't we?
We really are. I try and get into the mindset of, a Mississippi State hitter, and you're facing a guy like Cunningham who is, just cruising. Into the top of the sixth. He's at 70 pitches, and I'm sure your coaches are saying, we got to get somebody on base. Like, somebody just figure it out and get on base. You see the pitch count by inning there for Bryce Cunningham, but it's easier said than done. There's balls coming in there. Guys are taking some good swings at it, but Bryce Cunningham, just the ball, whether it's the changeup low or just the fastball has a little extra tail outside the zone, he's getting a lot of miss hits, and the defense is playing really well behind him. So really tough opportunity there for Mississippi State.
Bryce against Bryce, 0 for 2. Line out to right and a line out to center in his 2 at-bats. Made solid contact both times. You see that batting average still right at 300. Close pitch, but make it ball 3. We've not seen many 3-ball counts from Cunningham. He's allowed 1 walk. That was to Hines. A pitch that was close but below the knees. Cunningham needs a strike and got it to make it 3-1. Chance coming in, 11-game hit streak, 15 out of his last 16. And 373 in conference play. To left and deep, it's Leneve. Ranges back to make the catch, 2 gone.
And that's a perfect example of what I was talking about, Kevin. Even if they do put a good swing on a ball, it's usually right at somebody or defense is playing well behind them. 103 miles an hour off the bat with the exit velocity. So if they are connecting with it, it's right at people. So a lot of things going right for Bryce Cunningham tonight.
David Mershon with 2 outs. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out in his ledger tonight. A modest 4-game hit streak for Mershon. 30 games, 25 starts, back in 2023 as a freshman. Outside 2-0. Comes from a baseball family. His dad, Brian, played. 2-ball, no strike count as Cunningham delivers with a fastball, 2-1. I was trying to think if that was one of the years that teams from around here made it to the World Series and may have even faced off against some guys from this area. 3 balls and a strike. Low with the fastball. Six straight retired by Cunningham. Trying to keep from losing Mershon and having to face Dakota Jordan, the man on base here in the 6th. 3-1 pitch, hammered to right. Getting back, though, as Holcomb got turned around in time to make the catch and retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the second Friday night series opener. Vastine hit the first pitch of the first inning for a home run. And lined out to center. Also on the first pitch in the 3rd. So that ball 1 was the first one he has a swung at. 2 balls and no strikes. Go back to the first. First delivery by Steven. Front row of the right center field stands. 2 outs later, Alan Espinal hit a long home run, and Vanderbilt was on the board early. Swinging 2-0, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, healthy 2-0 hack there from Vastine, seeing the ball well.
Recorded hits in 9 of his last 10 games and homers in back-to-back games, including one back on Tuesday against UT Martin. Getting into a favorable count here at 3-1. Sixth inning and a nice manageable pitch count for Steven. Vastine takes strike 2 on a pitch in. We've talked about it. He's spent most of the season in the number 9 spot in the batting order, moved up to the leadoff spot just at about the last week and a half. Midweek game against Lipscomb last week and all of the Florida series, and leadoff spot for first 2 games this week.
Yeah, we talk about the RBIs, just trying to get him some more opportunities to hit guys in, but also, I mean, he's got some bags under his belt too, so he can kind of get in that run game too. So I think good job by Tim Corbin recognizing that, throw him up there at the top of the order.
Payoff and a swing and a miss. 4th strikeout recorded by Steven, 1 out in the Vanderbilt 6th.
Kind of a gyro ball on the outside corner. Didn't break nearly as much as Vastine thought it was. It stayed up in the zone. A nice pitch. 4 Ks tonight.
Yeah, for all the good pitching, we haven't seen tons of strikeouts really, and only 7 combined between the 2 teams. Austin, first pitch and a foul ball. 0 for 2, popped out foul to Hunter Hines in the first, and a fly out to left. One strike delivery to the right side. The end of the bat for Pulliam. 2 outs. Explain the gyro ball, if you can.
I was just like, usually if you throw a slider and it's down in the zone, it's got that hard break. But if sometimes it releases a little bit out of the hands and it stays up. As a hitter, you recognize it and you say, oh, this is going to break and it's going to be down here, but it actually just kind of stays straight and you swing under it. So it's kind of a missed pitch, but it actually is very effective and the hitter is kind of swinging through it.
Was it Kevin Kopps who was the closer for Arkansas that threw the gyro ball?
Yeah.
Davis Diaz 0 for 2. Pop out to short and a line out to center. Let's take a look at it here.
Yeah, you can recognize as a hitter, you kind of see the dot and you say, oh, here comes the slider, and it doesn't actually slide. It just kind of stays straight like a fastball, and you go out shaking your head as a hitter.
Two-0 count to Diaz with 2 outs. Sent him home happy back on Tuesday with that home run in the 9th inning. Become a fixture in the 3 spot in the batting order. Been on base in 17 straight games, but 0 for 2 tonight. Slider there for strike 2. Cal Steven trying to record another clean inning, and he does. A swing and a miss. That is 14 straight recorded by the Mississippi State right-hander. Number 14 looking. Single, and Vanderbilt played small ball to get him around in the 2nd. Go to Jordan to start the state 7th. A swing and a miss. Guy's having a great season for this Bulldog team. Checking out all the SEC leaders, and it felt like his name was in every category. This one popped up foul.
And those are 2 home run swings right there that he's just missed. I mean, he's going for it. He is not getting cheated up there. Just trying to put a spark plug in this offense.
2-strike pitch from Cunningham to start the 7th. Over to Diaz. Unloads quickly. The tag by Austin, and he got him. Throw took him a little bit up the line, and RJ able to make the catch and make the tag. 1 out.
And that's exactly how you play it as a first baseman. Ball kind of sails out of the arm of Diaz, takes the throw up the line into the runner. He comes off the bag. Nice job just swiping, getting the tag of Jordan.
So 1 for 3 night for Jordan. Here's Hunter Hines. Strikeout and a walk. It's 2 times up tonight. Very powerful first baseman for Mississippi State, as we talked about. First team all-conference last year. 47 career home runs entering tonight's play. 5th active among SEC players. None since April 13th in Game 2 against Ole Miss. Behind in the count here, 0-2. Cunningham misses away, making a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Hines. Kind of settling back in. That was a changeup 2 pitches ago that he swung through. There was another changeup that was actually closer into the zone, but he didn't chase it.
2-2. I'm digging the old school Mississippi State jerseys,
Yeah.
like the 80s throwback look. Cunningham. 2-2 pitch, out on strikes. Looked like another of those changeups as he fans Hines for the 2nd time tonight. 4 Ks for Mr. C.
Yeah, changeup on the outside corner. It starts off in the part of the zone and then just tails a good 3 or 4 inches off. Gets him to chase.
Connor Hyzak is 0 for 2. A fly out and a bounce out to end the 4th when Mississippi State had its best threat of the night. They had 2 runners on with 2 outs. But yeah, these jerseys make you think of like Will Clark and Rafael Palmeiro and those great teams they had when we showed Ron Polk earlier back when he was coach. This one hit deep to left for Leneve at the wall and has to play it off the fence. First extra base hit for Mississippi State. First hit that's left the infield is a 2-out double by Hyzak in the 7th.
And one of the few mistakes that Bryce Cunningham has made. Actually, it wasn't. I thought it was a little bit higher up in the zone. That was actually not a bad pitch. He just went down and got it. Nice job by Leneve playing it off the wall.
Kind of went off that mesh and bounced a little farther away than you might expect. Sometimes when it hits that mesh, it just dies and drops right on the warning track. Here's Kohler. Ground out to Davis at 2nd, and he flied out to Leneve. That was in the 5th inning. His most recent time up. State's trying to put something on the board as we play here in the 7th after only their 2nd hit of the night. Going to try out Davis again, charging, bobbles, and everybody's safe. He had to come in to try to make a play and never had it cleanly. The Bulldogs have runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, Davis playing pretty far back. Just a normal ground ball, but it does have to come in and charge it. It does look like it pops up a little bit once it reaches that dirt area. A huge opportunity for Mississippi State here.
First error for either side. A miscue by Davis at 2nd. See if the Bulldogs can take advantage of the extra out here. Cunningham trying to bear down and finish off the 7th. A strike on a slider to Amani Larry, 0 for 2. Called out on strikes his last time up after a bounce out to Diaz. Another swing and a miss, and quickly 0-2.
Yeah, nice job getting right back in there after the miscue with Davis coming down here. Gets 0-2. We'll see if he goes back to that slider.
Cunningham try to end the thread right here with runners at 1st and 3rd. Tried it again, make it 1-2.
Yeah, went back to it, but a nice job holding off. That's a very well executed pitch right there, just off the plate.
Larry the DH. Hyzak at 3rd and Kohler at 1st with 2 outs. The 1-2. Another chance for Diaz. Regathers and throws him out. So Mississippi State leaves 2 on base. Yeah, we were wondering maybe what his role is here in Nashville or just passing through and catching the game. Here's Alan Espinal, hit one of the longest home runs you'll see in this ballpark back in the first inning. 1 for 2 with that solo blast that made it 2-0 at that point. Cal Stephen sent down 14 straight. Vanderbilt scored that run in the second. Back to the first. A no-doubter. Take the bus. Goodness. Absolutely crushed that pitch. Here it's a ball and 2 strikes. Bounced up and hit the E on State.
I will say it's a pretty sweet bus.
It is. One and 2 out on strikes. So Steven says, I got you this time. See, has sat down 15 straight Commodores.
He gets him with the slider on the outside corner. That's that hard slider. Just, yeah, gets him to chase. Kevin, you're talking about the maroon unis, and kind of reminded you of the Will Clark, Rafael Palmero. So look at the Mississippi State game notes. I think these are technically the maroon 85s.
Okay.
Is what they describe them. Their record in 2024 in these unis 8-1.
Huh?
So probably just trying to get some good mojo for this weekend.
So this is the 10th appearance for these uniforms this season.
Yeah, they got some cream 85s too, so.
Jay Davis 0 for 2, line out to center, a ground out to third against Stephen. He's not allowed a base runner since a single by Polk back in the second. Vanderbilt got to him for 3 early runs, and that's where we stand. 2 balls and a strike. Man, they had some fantastic players. Think about Jeff Brantley played back then. 2-1 count. There's strike 2.
And I have yet to make it to the newly renovated dude down there. Always a fun time going to those games, no matter who's playing.
Yeah, I've not seen a game there either. I've been there for basketball and for football. And I've kind of stuck my head in and checked it out since they've redone it. It's really, really nice. It's the largest on-campus baseball stadium in the country. The payoff to Davis with 1 gone. Serves it to right field on a 3-2 pitch. And Vanderbilt finally has a base runner after Stephen had retired 15 consecutive hitters.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a while since the Commodores have at least had somebody on first base. Yeah, all the way since the second inning. They're trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th.
They could use a little more offense as Davis extends his hit streak now to 7 games. Mentioned earlier, leading Vanderbilt in SEC play, starting tonight's game at 3:57. Always plenty of power from Troy Leneve. Grounded out on a nice play by Pulliam back in the second, and a pop out the third. Another guy wearing the SEC graduate patch. Decided to come back for a 5th season in this Vanderbilt program. They've been happy to have him.
That's good looking. Yeah, Tim Corbin always says the guys that make the decision to come back to your program as seniors and also as grad students, those are some of your best recruits just because they have so much experience in your program. They have, the culture instilled in them, and so they almost act as second coaches. They do a lot of policing of some of the younger guys coming in and getting them to fall in line. And Troy Leneve definitely a great example of that.
Shift on for Leneve on the right side of the infield. But they also know what the expectations are for the program,
right,
too. And, yeah, you talk about that culture and those things and understand how things are supposed to go. 1-2. Fly ball foul. Lanieve was part of the team that took on Mississippi State, that College World Series final series in Omaha in 2021. They also played a great regular season series here at Vanderbilt. Won 2 out of 3. I think he has something in his eye. Whatever it was, he's good to go. Short lead for Davis at first, and a 1-2 pitch coming up to Lanieve. Slowly hit ball to the right side. Only play will be to first. Lanieve retired as Davis goes to second with 2 outs.
Yeah, it looks like got in on the hands of Lanieve. And Steven did a good job of just locating that pitch.
1 for 2 night for Matthew Polk. Scored the 3rd run, the base hit and a stolen base. And a quick visit from the first base dugout.
Vanderbilt Commodores trying to extend that lead here with the runner on second.
11 multi-hit games for Matthew Polk. A 12th would give Vanderbilt another run. Three for 3 of the double, a walk and an RBI in the midweek game. Now a 12-game on-base streak, including the single tonight. 2-ball, no strike count. Still a very manageable pitch count for Cal Steven. This one rolls away from the catcher, down to third, and safe as Davis. Long got to it quickly, but Davis read it well and gets to third. And now the count 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, it looked like Long tried to pick it, kind of ran up his glove off to his right. Jaden Davis on point, able to move up an extra 90.
Ball 4, 2-out threat for Vanderbilt. Runners at first and third for Colin Barcy. That is the first walk issued tonight by Cal Steven.
That's pretty impressive here. 91 pitches, bottom of the 7th, first walk. Just shows how around the plate he's been all day.
Put one in play to the right side to bring home Polk back in the second. A strikeout in the 5th. Throw over to first, and Polk dives back. One thing that State has excelled in this season is pickoffs. They have 12 to lead the SEC. The next closest is 8. That's something you asked Chris Lamonis about when we talked to him the other day. And he said, yeah, coaches do a good job of scouting and looking for little things. Big swing by Barcy and comes up empty, 1 strike.
Yeah, Coach Lamonis says it's definitely something that they take a look at and know guys you're going to run and try and do some timing plays. You can definitely tell that they work on it a lot.
Big spot here for Barcy. Vanderbilt leading 3-0 in the 7th. They're trying to add to it. A game that has seen offense at a premium. Pitch outside, 1-1. Fly ball, deep center field. Isaac has a play, got to it. The threat is done for Vanderbilt in the 7th. A base hit and 2 left for the Vandy boys. Vanderbilt pitches a couple times, and communication staff tells us This is the second time this season he's thrown 7 scoreless innings, both against SEC teams. The other one was in this ballpark against Missouri back on March 29th. And in control tonight. 1-2. William, a fly out to left and a line out to center, 0 for 2. Pulled foul. Couple of defensive changes for Vanderbilt. Calvin Hewitt installed in center. Matthew Polk moves over to left to replace Leneve. Over to short. Vastine, the big hop. 1 out. There's Matthew Polk. He's shown he can play all the outfield positions. We've seen a lot of him right this season, and we've seen him in center field in recent games, and late innings here, moving over to left. Put that good speed of Hewitt. Cover the gaps late in the game with the lead. Right back to the mound. Cunningham on one pitch retires long. He's 0 for 3, and they're 2 outs in the 8th. That was pitch number 100.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that pitch count getting up there into the triple digits, that one pitch AB is your best friend. Nice job sticking the glove down, snag it, run it over. A heck of a performance tonight by Bryce Cunningham. I think for both sides. I mean, with Cunningham and then also with Steven for Mississippi State. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to both these guys. Really quality starts on a Friday night.
Pitch is close, but ball 1 to Bryce Chance. He's 0 for 3. 3 lineouts to all 3 in the outfield tonight. To right in the first, to center in the 4th, to left in inning number 6. There's a strike, 1-1.
Still 95 on the gun at pitch number 103. Pretty impressive.
And he comes back with a slider to make it 1-2. Start to get a little stirring around in the Vanderbilt bullpen, but you don't see much cause for it. The way this guy's throwing. 1-2. We're going to close out the 8th.
Rear back, a little extra juice on that one, 95. I think it kind of surprised Espinal too. Threw it by him.
Two with 2 outs. Left side slowly hit. Vastine circles and plays, and in time. Terrific. Jonathan Vastine got to that. From a slow start has been fantastic for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Both these teams at 10-8. Down the left field line. That's a fair ball for Braden Holcomb. Extra bases to start the 8th as Holcomb hits the first pitch for a double.
Able to sneak that one right by the third base line. And you watch Holcomb out of the box. I mean, he takes some big strides and moves really good for the big man. Might put him on the draft board.
Well, Vanderbilt will bring in a pinch runner with Jacob Humphrey coming in to run for Holcomb. They're starting the frame off with a double.
Yeah, he can move, but not as well as Mr. Humphrey there.
Holcomb did look good running the bases.
You hear Tim Corbin talk about it. He said he's a big guy, but he can really move his body well.
Vastine, high fly ball to left for Chance. Toward the line in the left field corner. A little bit out of view, but made the play. Vastine retired on 1 pitch. He has put 1 in play on the first pitch, 3 of his 4 at-bats tonight. R.J. Austin feels like this guy's due. 0 for 3 tonight. Even with a 3-0 lead, that feels like a big runner out at second base. And we'll see if this is it for Steven. 96 on the pitch counter for a guy who's throwing a fantastic game. So State will go to the bullpen. You tip your cap to that guy. He sat down 15 straight through the middle innings of the game. Vanderbilt didn't have a base. Faces R.J. Austin with 1 out. It's back towards second. He threw 4 innings of 1-hit ball against Memphis in their midweek game. That was after appearing in both games of their doubleheader against Auburn and allowing no earned runs. So 4th consecutive game that he has entered. Delivers a strike to Austin.
Yeah, that's a tough angle to look at if you're Austin, standing up there on the right side. And it's coming out almost behind you and to the side. See Jacob Humphrey, 88 career stolen bases, 10 so far this year, so definitely trying to keep him close over there at second base.
Paying attention to number 10. The guy at the plate's a tough one too. 1-strike pitch. And taking off for third, Humphrey, and he makes it without a throw. A steal of third. Meanwhile, 2 strikes to Austin at the plate. You have him in there to make things happen on the bases. Vanderbilt 90 feet away from a 4th run.
And it didn't even look like he got a great, like a running jump or a kind of a jump lead. It really just to the raw speed. Humphrey was able to take that bag.
Infield in for Mississippi State. Austin takes ball 1.
Whew. A 69 mile an hour. That's a Bugs Bunny slider right there.
2-2. RJ, a team high 40 RBIs for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, whatever pitch was just called in, Scholke said, I don't want that. Changed it up. Let's see if it works out for him.
That one on the rise, and Austin fouled it off.
Yeah, to see that ball start from below his hip and then to go above kind of right at your eyes, that is a weird angle as a hitter. Definitely got to stick in there and kind of try and find that slot.
High fly, left field. Chance in short left, makes a catch. Humphrey will challenge. Here comes a throw to the plate, and he's safe. The Commodores use. Sack fly by Austin, RBI number 41, a big 4th run. Inside ball 1 to Diaz. Be a last chance to extend his on-base streak, 1-1. Yeah, that was one of those plays where it's a short fly ball, but you felt like Humphrey was coming down all the way.
If that ball was 10 feet closer, Humphrey was going to be trying to take that bag with the speed and the aggressiveness. "17 straight games on base for Diaz, trying to make it 18, and out at first on a terrific play by Logan Kohler, looking to close it out. David Mershon to begin the 9th, 0 for 3. Strike 1. And right there is exactly how he's been able to do that. First pitch strikes. He's really getting ahead of all these hitters.
J.D. Rogers goes into play right field. Right side, Austin to the turf, to Cunningham, over to cover, 1 out.
Nice job all the way around. Austin able to get off that bag quickly. Make the play, goes down on the turf, and a good hustle by Cunningham, getting over just in time. Pitcher fielding practice right there.
Just the way you draw it up. Here's Dakota Jordan, 1 for 3. Infield hit in the fourth. That was the first base runner for Mississippi State after Cunningham sat down the first 11 to start the night. Only 2 hits. The infield hit by this man and a 7th inning double by Connor Hyzak. One ball count. Out of play, 1-1. You like facing this guy in the 9th inning with a 4-run lead and nobody on base.
Very true.
The SEC's top hitters. Two ball, 1 strike count as Cunningham brings it. Hard hit over to short. Vastine takes his time. 2 gone.
Cunningham's done that all night too. He's not trying to strike everybody out. Just pitches to contact. Lets that good defense play right behind him.
Hunter Hines. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Fans start to rise here at Hawkins Field. Cunningham, an out away from a complete game shutout. Fantastic starting pitching all the way around in this game. Cunningham for Vanderbilt, Stephen for State. Hines checks a swing on a pitch down, 2-0.
And finally, a classic Friday night matchup.
This has been a classic Friday night matchup, no question. Teams that have been good rivals and good ball game tonight. Outside 3-0. That's been all calls time. You kind of wonder too what Tim Corbin and Scott Brown are thinking in terms of if State gets a base runner, is it the end of the night for Cunningham?
I think if they make that decision, they've got to determine who's going to go out there and tell Cunningham. I wouldn't want to be that guy.
It's usually number 4. Yeah, he needs a strike here. Both these teams third place in their respective divisions at 10-8. Entering game 1 tonight. Cunningham's 3-0 pitch. Finds a plate for strike 1.
There you go, 116 pitches. You go 8 2/3. You want to finish this off.
And that's ball 4. Fastball misses down, and now we'll see what the decision is from that third base dugout as Hines makes his way to first.
It's a discussion. Oh, he's going to talk to him.
But you give him one more chance here, and Grayson Carter looks like he's ready in the Vanderbilt bullpen if needed. Connor Hyzak has the only Baxter base hit for Mississippi State. 1 for 3 with a double. 2 outs in the 9th, and Hines at first. A first pitch strike on a fastball. Still climbing up into the 90s with the heater down for ball 1. Two teams will do it again tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central Time, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday. Have all 3 of them for you. 1-1 to Hyzak.
Nice pitch. That's a fastball. There's some down angle action on it.
120 on the pitch count. Yeah, let's see what he does right here. On a 1-2 pitch. Strike away from finishing it off. And time call before Cunningham could deliver the 1-2 pitch. Or did he? Took too long. It's ball 2. Cunningham's 2-2. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Davis Diaz calls and catches. The brilliance of Bryce Cunningham. A complete game 2-hit shutout.